So this will be the biggest episode of Nintendo Switch games to buy before they become rare and expensive that I have ever done thus far, because we'll be covering 21 games on this list, and the first one that I have to talk about is Lunar Remastered Collection, because this game is published and distributed by Gung Ho, and unfortunately they've only made it available on Amazon, and at the time of recording it's still sold out on there for the Nintendo Switch, and I believe even for the PS4, because this game has been selling like hotcakes. But Gung Ho has said that they plan to continue reprinting this game to meet demand, so I definitely don't recommend buying this for like 100 or 120 from some scummy resellers on Amazon and eBay. So hopefully it'll get restocked soon. I missed a boat on this one myself, so don't feel bad if you did too. But if you do see it reprinted, stocked back on Amazon at retail value, which I believe is $55, definitely make sure you buy it before it becomes rare and expensive. The second game on today's list is the 100 Line Last Defense Academy. This game is a really niche kind of mesh between a strategy RPG and a visual novel, and it definitely has rare Nintendo Switch game written all over it. Who knows how long copies will be printed. Either way, even if it doesn't become expensive quickly, I think it definitely will further on down the line, and it is coming in right at the Nintendo Switch end life cycle, where a lot of times when games are released at the end of a console, they do end up getting rare and expensive later on. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens with this game. And one other thing I do want to note about this game is that it has reviewed really high, really well. Fans and critics alike seem to be praising it. So if you're into strategy RPGs and visual novels from the creators of Danganronpa and the Zero Escape series, I believe, you may definitely want to pick this one up before it becomes rare and expensive. With a collection and a backlog that's definitely pretty expansive, I've been hesitant to pick up a lot of games at launch lately, trying to wait for sales for them, like the third game on today's list, which is Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. I've been waiting to find a good sale on this one, and it just really hasn't happened yet. I'm sure eventually it should have a decent sale, but this is definitely a JRPG that I do believe will get rare and expensive for the Nintendo Switch version further on down the line. If you look at a lot of Dragon Quest games, the ones that came out for 3DS and even DS on handheld consoles where they were on the cartridge, those games definitely went up in value over time, and I believe the same will be the case for the Dragon Quest games on the Nintendo Switch as well, especially this remake, which has been highly praised by fans and critics alike. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce the fourth game on today's list, but it's either Bakaru or Bakaru. Either way, it looks like a really awesome 3D action platformer with a real Japanese style and flavor to it, and it's also developed by Goodfeel, who have also made some first-party games for Nintendo. And this one is definitely really niche. I actually haven't seen physical copies of this game anywhere in person, but you still can get it off of Amazon, and I will have a link to that, as I do make a little commission as an affiliate if you'd like to help support the channel and buy any of these games there. And also, before we go on with this list, if you enjoy the content and you're not already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and drop a like on this video. The fifth game on today's list is Mario and Luigi Brothership. This game has definitely got mixed reviews, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a high seller for Nintendo. And with it not being a high seller for Nintendo, it doesn't look like it's likely that a lot of copies of this game will be printed, especially as it has been released at the end of the Nintendo Switch life cycle. I can definitely see this game getting rare and expensive further on down the line. Now, I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard some people say that it's really good, but it has a slow start. And I've heard other people just say that it's really bad, really slow, boring, and has a slow start. The one thing I see everyone agreeing on is that the game starts slow, with some saying that it gets much better, they loved it, and others saying that it was just a slog and they hated it. It's one that I haven't been convinced to pick up yet at full price, but maybe if I find it on a sale one day. Now for the rest of this video, I'm going to talk about 16 first-party Nintendo Switch exclusives that I definitely believe have a high probability of becoming rare and expensive further on down the line. Now, I have talked about probably all of these games before in different episodes, but I wanted to put them here all in one place as we are now getting to the very end of the Nintendo Switch life cycle. I'm sure it still has at least a good couple years of support from Nintendo and from third parties, but you know, we're definitely at the end of an era here, and I believe as time goes on, a lot of these first party exclusives that have kind of gone under the radar a bit will definitely go up in price and become harder to find later on. But the first one of those games is ARMS. This is a Nintendo Switch exclusive. It's an action fighting game. Still has a very online active community. Really fun game. Has a lot of fun online and multiplayer modes. Doesn't have a lot of single player content, but it's still good. But the reason why I wanted to bring this game up is because this is getting a free Nintendo Switch 2 update. So I'm guessing it'll run at a higher frame rate because it's already at 60. So if it goes to 120, that's going to be crazy. Better resolution. With ARMS getting the free upgrade for the Nintendo Switch 2, I definitely believe this game will become more sought after. And I believe it also is definitely one of those Nintendo Switch games that is out of print. Clubhouse Games is another Nintendo Switch exclusive that actually I covered a few months back, because I had noticed that this game was going up in price. This one is also getting the Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade. I believe it's only going to add the game share where you can play this game with somebody else on their Nintendo console. Even if they don't have it, you can still play together. So that'll be a cool addition. And I definitely think it'll get more eyes on this game, making it potentially, you know, hold its value or go up even more. I guess we'll have to see with that. But the next couple of games, Another Code Recollection. This is a collection of two games, two kind of point and click mystery adventure games. And this is definitely a niche Nintendo Switch exclusive. And I definitely think that over time, this will definitely become more rare and expensive, especially for the ESRB copy, which is what I mean and what I'm referring to with all the copies of these games, but they can definitely be sought after in other regions as well. Emio the Smiling Man is another one of those, a really niche visual novel, horror visual novel by Nintendo. I have played a bit of this one, put a few hours into it, but I need to get back to it. It's definitely a quality game with great music, great writing, really good visual novel. I just don't really play those type of games like that. Pikmin 1+2, you get the GameCube classics all on one cartridge, remastered, you know, better graphics, everything. I definitely think this one will be rare and expensive with them all being on the cartridge. And it didn't look like Nintendo produced a ton of copies of that either. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is another one of those, kind of went under the radar during the Switch era. This is another one I can see going up over time. And an example to look at is if you look at the GameCube and the Wii versions of Pikmin, those games were always really expensive until they came out with the remasters for the Nintendo Switch, which I believe are currently the most affordable way to get physical copies of those games. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, another way under the radar Pokemon exclusive RPG. Another one is Pokken Tournament DX, really good fighting game with Pokemon characters. It's its own thing. You kind of switch between a 2D and a 3D field with the fighting. You do certain moves and it'll switch it up. A lot of fun, really cool combos, moves, great graphics by Bandai Namco. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. I mean, it's a Zelda game. It's not the most popular one, and I think that gives it an even better chance of becoming rare and expensive later on because there won't be as many copies of it to find out there. Paper Mario the Origami King. This one was getting rare and expensive a while back. I haven't looked at prices of it lately, but if it is like really expensive now, I'll just put that on the screen. But if you can find this one out there for a good deal. I highly recommend picking it up. Metroid Prime Remastered. We have Metroid Prime 4 releasing later this year for the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and I definitely think that's going to cause the older Metroid games to go up in price. We also have Metroid Dread, a really good 2D Metroid game, Metroidvania, whatever you want to call it. It's a great game. I put a few hours into it, but never beat it. I definitely need to get back to this one, probably like ASAP, and just go ahead, play through and beat that one already. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. You get 2 classic Advance War games from the GBA, all on one cartridge here, remade from the ground up. They still hold up. They're still a lot of fun. I highly recommend this if you like strategy RPGs, except it doesn't really have the RPG elements in it. You just have the strategy, you know, kind of elements. It's still a lot of fun. Has solid stories going for it. And that's the reversible cover. Here's the regular cover. Astral Chain. Really, everyone says it's a really underrated action game exclusive for the Switch. I haven't played this one yet, but I need to. Maybe this will get a Switch 2 upgrade, and if it does, I think it'll definitely make the price of this one go up even more. But this game at many times has been selling for above MSRP by resellers, and it isn't the easiest Switch game to find anymore either. You can't just walk into any store and find that game. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. With Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment coming out this year, I do believe that Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity could possibly go up in price. But yeah, I just wanted to do a, you know, kind of catch up on all the Nintendo Switch exclusives that I believe could become sought after later on, now that we're really getting into the end of the Nintendo Switch life cycle. I really appreciate you all for watching so much. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. And until the next time, I will catch you all later.